Okay. Wow. All right. I think I'm good to go. That was probably my first word spoken of the day. All right. So, welcome to stream number 7, game number 9. Nets taking on the Celtics. Big game today. We have reinforcements on the way. We are still missing quite a few. Um, and the game that we didn't cover was probably one of the most damaging of the season in terms of losses because we didn't lose, but we lost our number one scorer by a country mile. So it's going to be interesting to see who picks up the slack. Lonnie Walker was the guy that did that for us or in that last game with 21. Today, it may be Mikal Bridges. His responsibility, Cam Johnson, is back at last, but we still have Ben, Clax, and now Cam Thomas out. So, still the 3 starters missing. The starting 5, I will show that to you now. If I get rid of that, you can see it's Spencer, Mikal, and Cam. The twins are back together. DFS and Royce O'Neal rounding out the 5. And Boston are missing Al Horford. Hold on a second. They're missing Al Horford. Derek White enters the starting 5. So we're going to be a little bit more assisted by the basketball gods today because obviously it's been, well, in that last game we played against Boston, it was a little bit tougher to get shots up because of that rim protection with all the size they've got. But it'll be a little bit easier to contain in this game because no Al Horford, so you're running with a smaller 4. I think Tatum may actually be the same size, but their backcourt is obviously a lot smaller. So we could be okay today. It's not going to be easy. But last game indicated that there's plenty of backups ready. Jesus, ready to step up. My voice is just gone. I think I need a sip of water. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I think like Watford put in good minutes. DSJ played good defense on James Harden. And then on top of that, Dayron Sharp on the boards. He got 10 of those. He got 4 offensive rebounds, so he was pretty quality. Royce had a great game. There were some big moments by Royce. He hit 4 threes as well. So a really good performance by a number of players. I think we had somewhere near, actually I can just look at it now. I think we had somewhere near like 7 players in double figures, which is obviously an awesome thing to see. Lonnie Walker had his highest scoring game of the year as well. So, you know, we're going to need to see something similar today. But look, I'm pretty excited for this one. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm really excited for this one. Just because what we've produced this season, it's been pretty unprecedented how competitive we've been, even with the starters out. Earlier in the season, you would say that if we had Claxton, Cam Thomas, Ben Simmons, Cam Johnson out for extended periods, you would have thought that we wouldn't be able to hold up the fort. But credit to us, you know, for being able to actually get the job done and just find a way most of the time. We had 6 players in double figures. Watford had 9 and 3 steals. And then on top of that, what is it doing? Yeah, and then on top of that, we had Spencer with 7, so he didn't do too much. Yeah, Royce and Doe, we talk about how important those 2 players are. They were 50% from the field, from 3. hit 8 threes between them. So obviously that's a huge part of a 100-point total in a game where both teams really struggled. So those 3-pointers are vital. So the fact we were able to hit 15 and those two accounted for half is pretty imperative to success. And we're going to need to see that again today. The last time we played the Celtics, it was not easy for Royce and Mikal. I've just dropped my phone. Off memory, those two shot 9 of 35. 9 of 35, and I remember Mikal was like 1 of 8. Royce had taken like 11 3-pointers, or 9 3-pointers, something along those lines. Beautiful day for a decent Nets game. Let's go watching live but listening to Sabbath. That's awesome to hear. It's awesome to hear that you guys are prioritizing my call over ESPN or yes, because I mean the lineup today, literally every single Nets broadcaster is covering the game. You've got Ryan Rucco and Richard Jefferson on ESPN, and then you've got Iron Eagle and Sarah Kustok on yes. So it's just dominating the entire just the entire NBA broadcasting world. And then you have me, which you're somehow prioritizing over the others. So good to hear. We also have Derek Whitehead suiting up for the first time against the Raptors G League affiliate. Noah Clowney is also playing with them. And I will be doing like just a couple box score checks every now and then to see what's going on over there. Derek is on 5 points. Jalen Wilson has been to the free throw line 5 times. He's got 13 points. I don't really know how the math isn't mathing because he's only scored 2 field goals and he's got 5 free throws. He's somehow got 13. It looks like we're nearly ready to get underway, I would assume. I'm just going to get everything ready. Main screen up. And no, the game has not started yet. Let me just reset the timer. Okay, so yep. And Noah Clowney is 0 of 4 according to the box score, but he's also got 6 rebounds, a steal, and he's also got a block as well. So he hasn't been too bad. If we completely disregard the scoring, Armani Brooks is not suiting up. I would assume he's actually still with the team. So it's it's good to see these players coming back. Once we get these 3 players that we're missing back, we've got a full team. And it's going to be really unlucky for some individuals because they're just not going to have there's not enough minutes to go around. And there's a lot of clowns just saying like, oh, look, JV's a shit coach because he's not giving this player enough minutes. You can't give minutes to every single player on this roster. As much as, we should because a lot of these players have upside. It's just not feasible. Who's playing center? It is DFS, Dory, whatever you want to call him. So yeah, that is the situation thus far. Those who have just tuned in, welcome to the stream. Do the Celtics have any injuries besides your boy Horford, which I mentioned earlier? Everyone else is good to go. Why not Dayron? Dayron had a really good game, and honestly, I would have actually given him a crack. Just send Royce to the bench. Even Lonnie Walker, with Cam Thomas out, I wouldn't have minded seeing Lonnie Walker in the starting lineup. Because our point guard now, Spencer Dinwiddie's our point guard. But it would have been interesting to see what a Lonnie Walker starting 5 experiment would look like. But as we've said, there's not enough minutes to go around, and some players are going to be more unlucky than others. the Celtics do have Luke Cornett off the bench, who had a really good game last time out. I think he had the most bench points for the Celtics. And he was a problem because, especially in those smaller ball lineups, this guy's like 7-1. So Dayron coming off the bench, I think that's a good matchup for him. And he's coming off a really good game against LA. So he exploited that Zoo matchup the other night. So I think that Cornet matchup could actually work pretty well. I'm also going to mention that there is a video coming out tomorrow. It is a Nets video. And it is about the bench. I was going to do it on Cam Thomas, but I'm going to have to put a hold on that one because, of course, a very mistimed injury occurred. So we're going to have to put that one on hold, and we'll see what the future holds with regards to Cam, if that ankle injury really deters him from doing anything, or like all of a sudden he gets into a shooting slump. I don't know. So I'm not going to make a video on that yet, but we are making a video. It's primarily based on the Clippers game. That's what motivated me to make it. And obviously, if we beat the Celtics today and the bench is another perler of a game, it's going to add a little bit more credibility to what I was talking about in that video. So that'll be out tomorrow at about 4 p.m. ET, Eastern. So yeah. 25 ads? Let me fucking fix that. That's annoying. Because I have turned on ads. No, yeah, I have turned on ads, but it's like, I don't know how regularly it's pushing them. So it's probably like spamming the ads. It's on conservative. So it should be on lower earnings potential and a less interrupted viewer experience. Is there a way I can just like... I can pause the ads. I'll pause it if it's close. The game's about to commence, finally. Usually when it's on national TV, it takes a little bit more time. It's a little bit more delayed. It takes probably just that extra few minutes. It's got to be aligned with the broadcaster. Like the actual main national broadcaster. This is a weird-ass court. It's less... It's not killing my eyes as much on the broadcast as that Bulls court. Obviously, this is an in-season tournament game, so there is a little bit more to play for. We won the first game against Chicago, and obviously there's a little bit more to play for than just a win on the record. The Celtics win the possession from the tip, and it will be Jrue Holiday kicking things off. So Royce got the assignment on Tatum. Pass to the corner. Oh, that's a nice little hook shot over Johnson. First bucket of the game. And it's Boston with the lead. So Spencer, picked up by Derek White. He's going to feed it to Finney Smith, the 1-2. Out to Doe. He's left alone, and he is off. I was actually loading up the hotkey, ready to add another 3 points. Doe with the block, and now Johnson will push the pace. Swing it across the Mikal. Dinwiddie on the catch in the corner. That's good, and we're underway. The Nets have the lead, and the first basket of the game. That's always the most difficult. You know, getting off the mark is, well, probably the most important thing. We've got Porzingis backing down Johnson. There's going to need to be a bit of help there. And there is a foul. It's going to be 2 shots. And Porzingis, I remember, with my decent enough memory, that the last time we played the Celtics, Porzingis had 22 on only 9 shots. So the efficiency was well and truly there. They probably didn't feed him the ball enough. There's going to be opportunities for that again, but the Nets have been pretty good physically. Porzingis is averaging 21 on the year. I tell you what, like, that's a really quietly good season for him, and that's probably why the Celtics have started so well. So Porzingis on the board with 2 points at the charity stripe. It's going to be the Nets through Mikal. Bit of touch and feel. He shoots the midi and he knocks it down and he gets off the mark. And we're going to need to see a nice little 30 piece from Mikal today, I feel, because Boston are a very good scoring team. So we're going to need to stay with. Tatum very short on the 3. He gets his own miss. Brown is fouled and he knocks it down. And that's going to count. And it's going to be a free throw at the line. So that is a second chance opportunity compounded by the conversion of that shot while being fouled. So it's gone from potentially coming up empty on a possession to conceding, the Celtics getting 3 points and us conceding 3 out of nothing. So gonna have to limit that as much as possible. There are going to be plenty of offensive rebounds on offer. Gee, they're picking us up at half court. I'm not liking the attention, but we do get it across in the allowed 8 seconds. They turn it over, and the Celtics in transition. Oh, that's way too easy. I mean, granted, what the hell are you supposed to do? You got to protect the basket in transition first. And obviously, at second priority is the 3-point line. Jaylen Brown knocks down the wide open 3. Dinwiddie has a 1-on-1 with Porzingis. Got to exploit that mismatch. Dinwiddie is going to shoot a 3 instead, and I hate Dinwiddie ISO 3-point possessions. Usually never convincing. Brown, the step back 3, he does not attempt it. He gives it off to Porzingis. That's smart, and Porzingis off the window over Spencer, who has absolutely no hope. No one can really help him either because of the spacing the Celtics have got here with that excellent shooting lineup. Royce, that's an excellent pass to Dinwiddie. He's open top of the key and he knocks it down for 3. It was a good ball fake by Royce. He got by the closeout. He attracted another defender and that left Dinwiddie open. So 3 minutes elapsed thus far. Boston up 4. Brown again. The 3 is good and this is not okay. And do we have a timeout? I believe so. Yep. Timeout. 15-8 early going, and it's this is going to be a bit of a difficult watch if the Celtics can't miss. Jaylen Brown had an absolutely stinky performance against us, shooting the ball last time out. He had like 22 on 21 shots. He was shooting at like 33%, and he had a Royce-esque performance from 3. But already in this game, he's gotten off to a flyer. Let me just get the box score up. All right. And I forgot to change this again. Lonnie Walker's going to be our spotlight player for today. Everything's all over the place. Okay. That's better. All right. So box score check, nice and early. You can see that Spencer has accounted for 2 threes. But that aside, there is no offense. It's not that awful. The problem is the Celtics have already had 3 extra shots because of them forcing a turnover. They've had 5 assists on all 5 of their field goals. Jaylen Brown has hit 3 of his 4 shots. He's gotten to the line and he's hit 2 threes. So pretty positive start for the Celtics. You'd be very much satisfied. It's going to be interesting to see how we stay with them because a 15-point start already for Boston. They've gotten off to a flyer. We're going to need to do a little bit of a better job just containing them, really. And last time we played them, we looked after the basketball incredibly well. It's that's not really that sustainable. So yeah, an 11-3 run for Boston in the last minute and a half, by the way. So pretty fast start, as we've said. I'll just get the chat up. Let me just... Okay, there we go. Okay. You would be better off watching the Long Island game. I mean, there's well, obviously there is a bit of a reason to watch the Long Island game because your boy is back, Derek Whitehead. So that's really good to see because that guy is probably going to be a part of our future plans. Hopefully, I've heard a lot of good things. The only way I see us winning is because of our bench. Nets don't look mobile enough. Last time we were equally as depleted. We didn't have Ben Simmons, who historically has locked down Tatum. He's missing again today with hip soreness, so we're just gonna have to start. Like there was a stage of the game in the second quarter, I do believe, last time out where we went on a run because of those stops we were getting. It's not really going to be a matter of us really forcing turnovers, I do think, because the Celtics are a pretty good, like, rehearsed team. Very clinical at what they do. Dinwiddie on the drive, he missed the shot, and that was a good move, but he wasn't able to get the layup done, and now the Celtics can extend the lead to 9. The step back 2 by Tatum was well short, and it's going to be Dinwiddie who sprints ahead, gets it to Mikal, pass to Doe, one more. Oh, excellent passing around the perimeter. Catch and shoot 3 in rhythm for Johnson. It's good, and he is back on the board after a long 7-game stint on the sidelines, or 8-game stint. Voice crack. Damn. So, Nets shooting the ball okay. Holiday, the step back 3, that's good. I mean, they're just knocking them down on the wings, and we're not really playing bad defense. It's just their shot making is just better than, well, the vast majority. That's a wild layup attempt by Dorian Finney-Smith. Brown, oh, how was he flicked that one up and in? Royce nearly forced a jump ball, but this early offense is killing us. Celtics are 7 of 10 from the field. 70%, obviously. Finney-Smith has the space. He's to the right on that three-pointer, and we could be facing a double-digit deficit early. Brown, again, he is feeling it, but that one is a bit of a heat check. He misses that one short, and now Dinwiddie. Pass to Finney-Smith. Doesn't shoot this one. Dinwiddie does from a couple feet behind the line, and he knocks it down. It's a 2014 lead for Boston. So I'm looking at who's ready to come in. Watford and Walker are the two getting ready to check in. Believe it or not, they have a positive net rating of 54 when they're on the court in about 25 minutes. It's a pretty bizarre stat. Porzingis going to back down Finney-Smith. It's good defense. Porzingis is just way too tall, and if he keeps the ball pretty high, at head height, it's going to be very tough to stop. Good ball fake by Johnson. The 3 is short. Well maneuvered, though. Bro, they are just letting it fly from 3. That is another missed 3 by Jrue. And Mikal will leave it for Dinwiddie, who's been given the responsibilities of commanding this offense. Mikal goes baseline, and he was fouled by Derek White on that baseline drive. It's going to be a couple of shots. The Celtics bench is horrible. Well, their bench is horrible, but that's also going to mean that they're not going to play him that much. So, usually would have a pretty good bench advantage. But, a lot of the time in this game, our bench is probably going to be running with the starters. We saw the other day, they are more than capable of running with the starters. Some really positive minutes on that end. 22-15 is the current score. Mikal will shoot. Well, he scored the first free throw. The second at the line at the halfway point of the first quarter is good. And the Nets are down 6. So we have Watford on the floor with Dinwiddie, Mikal, Dayron's also in, and Lonnie Walker. So this is a much better lineup, I feel, for this sort of, team that we're matching up against. Here's Porzingis. That's a good cut by Brissett. He's forced into a pass. Hauser's wide open. It's off, but Brissett chases up the rebound, and the Celtics go again. Brown on the drive, and he is fouled by I don't know who. So, 22-16 the score. That's, I mean, we had 3 ready to get the rebound, but one's got to be boxing out there and just putting a bit of body on. I think Dinwiddie is the guy who's pinged with the foul, and Brown will shoot a couple free throws at the line. The first one is good, and it is a 23-16 lead with one to come here. So Brown's, well, he's killing us at the moment. He's got, well, with a make, 13 points. And, well, we know the Celtics, well, he's missed that. Please, Dayron, hold on to the ball. Thank you. I mean, Tatum really hasn't done anything. I don't think he's scored a bucket. Bridges gets to his spot, and the fadeaway 2 is good, and it's back down to a 5-point deficit. So, getting a few stops here. Things starting to become a little bit more difficult. The Celtics crashing back down to earth to an extent. And Dayron's been pinged for a 3-second call. I feel like they've been way more strict with those sort of calls this season. Like, you're sometimes seeing 3 or 4 a game. All these second chance points and offensive rebounds. I mean, granted, it's probably somewhat expected. I can't blame them for giving away offensive rebounds when this, like, much more undersized. The problem is when that gets way out of hand. And that's severely impacting the result. If it's like a few each way, you know, I don't mind it. We're breaking even. That's good defense by Watford. He's forced another short miss on Brown. And now Bridges in rhythm. The 3 is well off. And unfortunately, Dayron against 4 Celtics under the basket isn't going to go well. Hauser. Oh my goodness. How can you really stop that? Always going to be difficult. Always going to be a tall order. Lonnie. High screen. Dayron. Pass to the corner for Mikal. That's an excellent play. That's got to be a foul on the floor. And Dayron was nudged under the basket. It's going to be a foul on Porzingis. We remain on this end of the floor. And interestingly, Armani Brooks is into the game. So he couldn't get minutes against other oppositions where we were severely shorthanded, but he's getting a bit of a crack today. Oh my goodness. Dayron is trying to put as many people as possible on a poster this season. He is becoming a specialist at doing about 75% of the execution. He gets it up there. He gets pretty close to getting the job done, but there's always a foul preventing him from completing the job. So free throws for Dayron here at the 4:28 mark, and that free throw is off. But Porzingis has picked up 2 fouls in quick succession. And when the Celtics, the Celtics, I mean, obviously he's a good scoring threat. But is such a key part of, how they'll win the game today, Not just because of the points. Dayron is, oh wow, he's got the shooter's bounce, even though he's not necessarily renowned for that shooting. So 27-19. Derek White is going to drive and kick to Cornette. Back into the middle for Cornette. That's a wild layup attempt, and Dayron with good verticality. So Watford will push it. He's going to drive it, and he's going to lay it up off the rim. Oh, wow. Out of nowhere, nearly a steal. I don't know who that was. I think it was Lonnie Walker who made the bold call to leave his man to try nab that steal. Forced it out of bounds. We resume, and Derek White is off on the push shot off hands, and a rebound for Lonnie. So Oh, wow, Watford's open. He takes a dribble, he shoots the three, and he knocks it down, and he's become a much improved three-point shooter in, well, last season, and he's providing some excellent minutes. Trendon Watford, what a start. Knocked down a three, gotten past Brissett and scored. You know, created that little bit of space midair so Cornet could not reach the block. Oh, wow, that is like probably a millimeter away from toe on the line. So it's been called a 2. That was the soft call, but it could be changed into a 3-pointer. Right now, this is the scorecard. Tatum has only attempted 1 3-pointer, so that's good. The problem is we're still losing because Jaylen Brown has picked up the slack, and that's how good Boston are. You know, when you got 4 really premium players in your starting lineup, it's always going to be difficult because you stop one and then there's going to be others, you know, that can really keep the scoreboard ticking for you. The Celtics are shooting the ball well, but not nearly as well as how they started. They were 7 of 10. They've gone 2 of their last 8. They haven't turned the ball over, which is a positive for them. From a Nets perspective, only the 1 turnover, good again. We are shooting at the same shooting percentages roughly, and have gotten to the free throw line as well, which is a positive. Dinwiddie leading the way with 9. We haven't gotten those 3-pointers that we said pre-game are so important from the wings that are starting, but Trendon Watford's had a really good start to this one, and Lonnie Walker as well has got, well, he's done a few nice things as well. A rebound and an assist. He's been pretty proactive. And Armani Brooks is getting run, which is pretty unprecedented. We went with the 9-man rotation last game. So it's interesting to see that we're running another guard against a Boston team that are much taller. So I'm not really sure what the thinking is there, but I'm not complaining because they're, well, in the one performance, you know, where Armani Brooks got minutes, he was knocking down threes for fun. Ben needs to do what Watford does. Literally. He is the perfect kind of player, Trendon Watford, and he probably needs more praise. Just letting you know, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new first and foremost. But we are doing we will be posting a Nets video tomorrow, and it is about the bench. It's more homing in on that LA Clippers performance, where the bench just, had some excellent minutes. So I think that was a good sort of game to use as an example for how well this bench has been playing. But it is a video about the bench, who have been performing, well, much better than most would expect. You know, you have your 11th, 12th, 13th players on the roster doing things that you wouldn't expect from these guys that are usually playing garbage time minutes. You know, they're really stepping up. So we resume, and it is the Celtics. Pritchard is in. Hauser's wide open on the 3. That was pretty regulation, and he missed it. And now the Nets, early offense. Smith picks up his dribble, nearly moved. Watford going to put the ball on the floor again, and he scores again. I love this guy. Mate, this guy, there's another stat that we highlighted pre-game. Watford, when he's on the floor, the Nets, he's got a plus 54 net rating when he's on the floor, which is a bit fucked. Walker on the drive, he flips it in and exploits the unset Celtics defense. They've got 4 bench players on the floor. Sorry, 3 plus Brown and Derek White. Nearly a steal there. Ball tipped away by Dennis Smith. It's a 9-0 run by the bench. Pritchard for 3. That's good. And he ends that 9-0 run by the Nets. Watford has added some real energy. He just does the simple things right. It can't be that difficult. Dayron back to Brooks. There's going to be a 3 here, you would sense. Nope. The bounce pass to Dayron. The spin. and he is off on the hook shot. So a rebound by the Celtics. Pritchard to the corner. Don't know what the defense is doing. That is off. And it's a good box out by Watford who prevents Cornet from jumping. So Nets will go into offense. Walker 3. Oh my goodness. This guy is just ridiculously good. Hand in the face. Knocks down the 3. And it is tied up at 30. Both teams have scored 5 and taken 11 3-pointers in this game. Brown, White, 3, good. So there's always a response in there by the opposition. So that's going to be an illegal screen. It's going the other way. Dayron will pick it up, and it is going to be Boston ball. Dayron will go to the bench. JV has some encouraging words for him. But those minutes aren't too bad. Those minutes aren't too bad by him. Obviously, a part of the team that has gotten, us back into the game. Doe checks back in with Tatum. Tatum shoots the 3. That's short. And Cornet just soars over the top. I mean, we have Armani Brooks and Dennis Smith Jr. under the basket trying to box out Cornet. It's never going to end well. Walker the step back 2 over Holiday. That's off. And a rebound by Pritchard. Tatum. He's just lost that out of bounds. I'm pretty sold that was off Tatum, but what you're seeing today right now, by the way, is the byproduct of 2 teams who are in the top 5 for that's a tongue twister, for first quarter scoring this season, both in the top 5. Celtics averaging 33 a game, 30 for the Nets. That's a good drive by Holiday, but he didn't get it to go. Defense was strong by Brooks. Smith, oh my God, what was that? Pritchard is going to pull up for 3, and he is short on that, but he gets his own rebound, and he shoots another 3, and that one's good. So more second chance points for Boston, and it's just like that back up to an 8-point margin, and the Celtics have just gone on a nice little run of their own. Lonnie responds with a 3-pointer. Mates, it is an absolute shootout in this one, and Boston, I mean, last time out, they scored 124, so it should come as no surprise. The Nets are hanging around, though, as we like to do in basically every game. Tatum is blitzed, and there are shooters open all over the court. Oh, come on, another offensive rebound after another Pritchard miss. Tatum, one-on-one with Doe. He's going to drive. The layup is off, and the rebound by DSJ. That is good defense by Watford, and I believe Finney-Smith was there as well. That'll do it for the first quarter. And it's 33-38, and I mean, even though we've shipped off 38, I can't really discount the effort by this team. It's been a really strong sort of start. Lonnie Walker has scored 8 points off the bench. So usually when I put a player in the spotlight, they falter under pressure, but Lonnie's been really good thus far today. He is the second leading scorer for the Nets. Overall, we're shooting it really well. Really, really well. Only the 2 turnovers as well, so you can't really complain there. And we've had 13 rebounds, which is pretty good. The only criticism I have is the 7 assists. That would need a little bit of improvement. But on the offensive side, we're good. The defensive side is the issue because we've given away 7 extra shots. And that is on the back of 5 offensive rebounds for the Celtics. I mean, that's part of it. And the fact that we haven't forced a turnover, that's the other thing. And look, we're not going to be able to put a halt to this Celtics scoring until we start, really suffocating them. So right now, I mean, the Celtics have taken 16 threes in a quarter. We've got to stop that. There's been a lot of open threes in the open court. So, we've got to just be a little bit more engaged with the rotations, and the offensive rebounds really aren't helping because we're getting ready to like break out in transition. And in that process, we're actually, well, we're really disadvantaging ourselves because we aren't getting the rebound, and then all of a sudden our defense is in disarray and we have to scramble. So that's the opening quarter done and dusted. I'm liking our bench this year. Our bench, I'll give away what the title is of the video that's coming out tomorrow. The Brooklyn Nets are the deepest team in the NBA. That's what that's the video discussion. So that should be a good little video to fill the space between now and the next game, which is against the Wizards. We will be covering it. You know the deal. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back, as I said, in a couple of days. So if you want to stay tuned, you know the deal. Good thing Tatum still hasn't scored. 0 points for him. That's one of the positives. However, the fact that the Celtics have scored 38 points with Tatum scoring 0 is, well, you can either go the glass half full approach and say, well, you know, we've conceded that. Oh, sorry. We've held Tatum to 0, but you can go glass half empty and say, well, we've conceded 38 with Tatum scoring 0. So, yeah. Do you know when Claxton is coming back? He has been doing workouts and shoot-arounds, so potentially could be on the cards for a return in the next week or so, I hope. So then we can stop seeing Dennis Smith Jr. minutes. 5 on the floor right now. DSJ is off the floor. It's Watford, Dinwiddie, Armani Brooks, Doe, and Mikal. That's a 3 by Brooks, and that is off. That's always a tough shot. Mikal is into the game. Holiday has also returned. Nearly just lost the ball. Tatum gonna drive on Bridges. Help defense arrives, which leaves an open Brissett 3, which is off. Dinwiddie gets it ahead, but that is a bit of a wild pass, and there is a foul on Watford. I mean, I like the thinking, but I mean, you probably want to just widen the angle just a little so that pass isn't as easy to read. Instead, Watford just wanted it right over the top, and Dinwiddie was going to have to bypass that defender. So, 3rd turnover for the Nets. We're not going to get severely punished by it because we committed the foul. It's going to force a half-court possession, and the Nets do well to get a stop. So, Dinwiddie will facilitate. Bridges wants it in the post. He's got Pritchard on him. This is absolutely something you attack. He's going to back him down. Bounce pass. Oh, that's a good cut by Watford. Couldn't get the layup to go. Just a little bit too much on it. And now Pritchard will slow things down. Give it to Mikal. He's going to drive. Get it out. That's got to be an offensive foul, and it is. Holiday was grappling onto Bridges, who was trying to close out that three-pointer by Brissett. So, well done by the Nets. There's been a couple of possessions which have been a little bit disjointed by Boston. Ivan, hope you're doing well, mate. Hope everything is all good on your end. Royce is going to check back in. So, Watford to the bench. That is such a net negative substitution. So, that's the first turnover of the game for Boston. The Nets will inbound. And we've had 90 minutes of play, or 90 seconds of play in the second quarter. No one has scored yet. Bridges, looking to change that? Nope. That's going to be a clear path, surely. Let's have a look. I think Mikal was a little bit frustrated. I think he wanted a foul there. And I think it's going to be a take foul. They're going to check if it's a clear path, but usually my understanding of the rule is that it's a clear path if... Whoa. My understanding is it's a clear path if there's no defenders back. I'm pretty sure there was a Nets defender back. Like, ahead of the play. So he could have potentially stopped the run. So let's have a look. There it is. And then Dinwiddie is ahead of Pritchard, but it's... This one's going to be line ball, I think. Yep. So as suspected, it's only a common foul because the defender was ahead of the play. On that occasion, it was Spencer Dinwiddie. So yeah, 38-33. So that's just, well, it ends up being a really sensible foul. But what the fuck? Why is he getting free throws? So Tatum's just got a... He just got a free throw. He missed one. So I don't know where that free throws come from. There must have been a technical amidst all of that. All those shenanigans. I have no idea what that's for. Celtics will have the ball though. Tatum now with it is going to back down Bridges and the help arrives by Royce. Spin by Tatum. Cross-court feed. He gets it back in the post. He's doubled again. He's forced into another pass and the three by Holiday's off. But bro, come on now. You've given Pritchard an offensive rebound. That's like the third one of the game for him. And now Tatum bounced past to Holiday, nearly lost it. It is recovered by Brissett. The step back three is an air ball, and Royce gets the rebound. So Dinwiddie will push it. Is going to be picked up by Mikal. He gets by him. That's got to be a foul, and it's going to be 2 shots for Spencer Dinwiddie. So good defensive activity by the Nets. They've lifted in this regard significantly. So it's going to be a couple of shots here for Spencer. It is a 5-point game. It is the same scoreline that it was at quarter time. So Dinwiddie, free throw 1 is good. And that is the first point on the board. It's taken a good 2 and a bit minutes to get those points. In the first quarter, it was quite the contrary. You know, both teams were scoring in abundance, in bunches. Dinwiddie makes both free throws. So lead reduced to 3 for Boston. Dinwiddie, the first net in double figures with 11 and 4 boards. Holiday, the switch. Royce picks him up. That's an easy cross. And Royce just gets cooked on so many occasions when he's one-on-one with the guard. Like, it's suicide, man. It's suicide putting him in an ISO situation. Dinwiddie picked up. Oh, that's a good ball fake by Royce. He gives it to Dinwiddie. 1 more for Doe. Caught in 2 minds. He gives it off to Royce. 3 to shoot. It's off. Armani Brooks got the offensive board. Missed it, but we go again. Bridges will drive on Porzingis. The 2, that was... He put way too much on that, and that's off. But you like the hustle by the Nets there. And we're just a little bit unfortunate to, you know, come up empty on that possession. Porzingis from way downtown. That rims out and a rebound by Brooks. So Dinwiddie will look to facilitate the possession that gets it back to a single possession. 1-on-1 with Mikal. Is he going to actually drive this? He does. Forced into a pass. Brooks on the catch. And he does not get the bounce. That's, well short. So, Holiday. Going to back down Brooks. You like this matchup if you're Boston. And Holiday capitalizes. It's a 7-point lead for Boston. So, even despite our defensive abilities in this quarter, we have really struggled to capitalize on the other side of the ball. Bridges for 3, he knocks it down, and that is our first field goal of the second quarter. Staggering stuff. Pritchard, extra feed, and Brooks is beaten by Holiday. So I can't imagine JV is too happy about that. He's pretty vocal. I'd sense that Armani's probably going to go to the bench. Spencer, good cross-court feed. Brooks, drive, kick. Oh, this is good ball movement, except for that pass. Royce somehow recovered it. Oh my God, he nearly traveled. Brooks, step back deep two. That's short. And the rebound by the Nets. How have we recovered this? Bridges keeps it alive, and the Nets will hold. Oh my God. Why would you shoot that, Spencer? We had like another 10 seconds, and he shot like a 40-footer. I mean, that's over-exaggerating it, but that was a terrible shot. Having recovered the ball, like, on multiple occasions, we needed to recycle that possession better. And we haven't nearly enough driven the ball to the cup in this second quarter. There have been occasions, but it was all stunted when Royce, I think, got to a really good spot in the paint and he just passed up the shot. So that really stunted everything. I mean, it's been a pretty entertaining second quarter for the defense, but not so much for the offense. Hate DFS being open and he hesitates shooting. It's triggering when you have an open shot and you just pass it up. But you can understand why he was trying to drive it. I mean, we've been missing all these threes, so you've really just got to focus, or like it's a smart thing to do to drive it, and just pass the three up. For reasons like when, like, you know, you see Spencer Dinwiddie shooting a 35-footer. Like, he should have driven that. Or he should have slowed things down and just given us a little bit of composure. This is the box score outlook for both sides. Boston have dropped off, and so have the Nets, shooting-wise. Both teams have fallen off. Tatum still has not scored, which is quite staggering to me. Yeah, but really, I mean, rebounds are pretty even. Turnovers are pretty even. We've had 3 more. We've hit the same amount of threes, hit the same amount of free throws. It's just in the shots. The Celtics have taken 6 more and made 3 more. That's literally where the difference is right now. If we look at it from a Nets perspective, you can see what we're dealing with here. Some good scoring off the bench by Watford and Lonnie Walker. Don't understand how Armani Brooks has played 10 minutes. We have Lonnie Walker on the bench. Spencer's been all right, but that heat check 3 is absolutely not it, Chief. Mikal scored 9, but we need a little bit more from those wings, man. They've been good on defense. They've been really contributing to that defensive scheme that's helped us hold off Tatum, but outside of that, been really complete non-factors. Seriously, I wouldn't mind seeing Watford back in. He's only played 7 minutes. He's been on the bench for a bit. He should probably get some run. And I did want to see Lonnie back into the game, so hopefully at the end of this dead ball, we're going to see him. All right. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it. And subscribe if you are new. We're going to be back for Nets Wizards in a couple of days' time. Would be awesome if you tune in, because that one's at 7 a.m. over here. So I'm actually waking up to do this. And I'm probably going to be half asleep as well. So, yeah. Anyway, Porzingis going to back down Dinwiddie. He actually kicks it out to Tatum for 3, and that's good. So sooner rather than later, he was going to knock down a shot. And he does so there. So a 9-point lead for Boston. And I tell you what, we haven't played like it. We have not played like it. I think in this second quarter, we should be a lot closer than what we are. Johnson is back in. Now to Royce. We got 3 to shoot, and Royce is handling the rock. And then a turnover. That is so clever by Jaylen Brown. And then a foul by Royce. That is the most arse offensive possession you could possibly muster up. How has Royce ended up with the only 2 players that had the ball on that sequence was Cam Johnson. I'm not even going to count Mikal Bridges because he was only involved in a handoff. And Royce O'Neal, who had the ball at the end of the offensive possession, still hadn't gotten into a set. That is just pretty poor. Pretty piss poor. I don't understand. He should just give Watford more run. Does my head in. Seriously. And it's actually the largest lead of the game, and I wouldn't even... I don't even understand how this has happened. So, Dinwiddie. Gonna pass to Royce. I beg he doesn't shoot it. Dinwiddie in a switch now. He is doubled. The zone arrives. Johnson has a three. He shoots, and he knocks it down. Sniper. So, 2 3-pointers for CJ in this game. And that's going to be incredibly key. Tatum, one-on-one with Bridges. That's a tough three, man. How were you supposed to defend that? Like, you can't really face guard him because he's probably going to draw a foul from the outside and still has a chance of making it. So Dinwiddie, the extremely high screen by Royce. The switch again. Dinwiddie is doubled again. Royce back to Dinwiddie. He's going to have to drive it. He does. Good kick out. As the shot clock expires, the miss by Bridges. That wasn't too bad. Pretty well worked, I would argue. Decent time management, but still a miss. Brown can't get the roll. And how, bro, I can't be asked. Pritchard again getting a vital hand in. And Tatum in rhythm knocks down another three. Like, you can't make this shit up. How are you giving Pritchard all these offensive rebounds? You have more numbers under the basket, and you're still getting done in. Royce is open for three, and he knocks it down to silence the crowd, who have been pretty vocal. Why is it like 1,500 seconds ahead of the game? What the hell? Hang on, let me just fix this. 4:20 is now. Tatum, one-on-one with Royce. Got through and didn't get the flip to go. It's going to be 2 shots. Like, okay, so that Tatum three is going to be chalked off because Tatum's toe was on the line. So why is this... Yeah, okay. So the point gets chalked off. It's going to be 2 shots for Tatum, but instead of 54-40 or 50, 54-44, it's 53-44 with Tatum shooting 2, and the first free throw is good. So we get it back up to 10. All right. So Lonnie's back in. And the second free throw is good. These rebounds are killing us. And it's more because, like, they're so highly effective. Like, every time they get an offensive rebound, they score off it feels. DSJ's back in. We give it to Walker, who's going to take on Porzingis. Oh, good. Good work by Lonnie to shield. To shield that shot right there. Get his body in the way. Use the rim as a bit of a protection. Bro, Tatum has just woken up from his slumber. That's like his 4th 3 in a row, I feel. Lonnie with the cross. Out to DSJ. Please do not shoot the 3. Don't shoot the 3. He's going to back down Pritchard. Rolls it back out. Walker with 7 to shoot. He's doubled. And now they come across. That's well worked. DSJ's open on the weak side. He airballed it. And it's going to be a shot clock violation. I mean, that's just... If you have any other shooter wide open on the weak side, you're able to get probably a better shot up. Like, the percentage of that shot going in goes up about 40%. Tatum, picked up by Doe, the switch. Swing. Brown. They can't miss. They can't miss. Just knocking down every single shot now. They just woke up. It's like they flicked a switch and that instantly turned all their players from, well, having like a 50 3-point shot to like a 95 3-point shot. And yeah, this is what we're dealing with at the moment. Let me just get the points updated again. Like, shooting the ball from 3, not bad. The rebounds, we've gotten a few. The turnovers aren't excessive. It's just the Boston Celtics have started hitting shots at a ridiculous rate. So this is how it's gone. They were like 7 of 16. Then they were like 7 of 20, 22. No, that's not possible. They were like 7 of 20. And they've scored like their last 4 threes. Tatum has hit 3 of 5. We were talking minutes ago about Tatum having not scored a point, and now he's scored 13 flat. And that's why the lead is where it is right now. They have got 7 more shots, made 5 more, hit 2 more threes, gotten to the free throw line for 5 more attempts. The rebound number isn't as lopsided as you may think. It's actually only a 2 rebound advantage in favor of Boston. It's just the offensive rebounds are really irritating. Pritchard has seemed like he's had 4 offensive rebounds, and he's probably had he's had 2, but he's also had a number of vital deflections in there to help them out. He's a plus 11, so he's been by far their best player off the bench, even though the scoring isn't that really eye-catching. So yeah. All the Ben haters wishing we had his rebounds right now. Well, it would definitely be a bit of extra size that we could do with at this current stage. Yeah. But like, we're not playing atrociously. That being said, how many times have we talked about the bench being better than the starters? Like, the bench, you compare the plus minuses of the starters and the bench, it couldn't be any more drastic. The disparity. Okay. It's actually ridiculous. Like, this sort of gives vibes of the last game we played against Boston. Or the last game we played against Boston in Boston, where we had a big deficit to make up. I feel like it's going to be like that again. I feel like there is a run in us at some point. But yeah, like, it's never a good sign when you've got all their stars, shooting the ball well. DSJ gets it across half court. What have we drawn up out of the timeout here? Johnson's going to receive it off a little bit of a hook turn. He drives and he shoots off the window, does not get the angle, and Porzingis, good defensive presence there. So Tatum one-on-one with Walker. He's going to get to his spot in the paint, miss the layup, and we get the rebound. So good shit there. Walker. Doe shoots a 3. It's in. And we've knocked it down. It's back down to a dozen. And if we can get it back to single digits going into the break, I'd be pretty happy with that. Keeps us in touch. Porzingis now. To Brown. I need DSJ activity. It's a switch. Johnson now guarding Brown. Brown shoots a... Like, what the fuck is this? Seriously, like... It's like they've gone into the 2K settings and turned the difficulty back to easy. Because they are making everything, even despite the contesting, being right there. It's another 3. Walker into the paint. The drive. He is blocked from behind by White. And now in transition, it's a 4-on-1 fast break. And Brown somehow got the flip. That is ridiculous. What are you supposed to do about that? That's the sign of a player that is absolutely switched on. Finney-Smith to DSJ. The drive? Oh, God. Bro, Dennis. Oh, my God. Deep two. He somehow made it. Definitely did not have that in his bag. He just put up a prayer and it somehow went down. And he acts like he does that all the time. Tatum. Oh, here we go. He's just going to knock down another one, isn't he? Nope. Long rebound by Lonnie. Is he going to pull up for three? He is. The three is good. And it is back down to that dozen deficit. So, very good-looking jump shot by Lonnie, man. He is a baller, this guy. Quality shooter. Derek White. Three is off. The rebound by Lonnie again. So he's going to just hold with about 30 seconds to play in this first half. And as we've done so many times, not going to utilize the 2-for-1. Lonnie. Nope. He's going to give it off. Now he's going to shoot a rhythm three. Oh! Nearly went down over Porzingis. And unfortunately, we're going to come up empty on that possession, but that could have just as easily been a three. Tatum behind the back. Extra feed. And there is an offensive foul on... It was Cam Johnson taking the charge. And with 2 seconds left, we have a chance to potentially get this deficit back down to 9 or 10. So let's see if we can make it happen. Bro, Lonnie is quality, mate. So 2 seconds to go. DSJ is going to throw it in. And I would assume Lonnie is going to take that final shot. The prized final shot. Here he is. Half court. Is he going to get it? No, he's not even going to. He's not even going to get the opportunity to get it off. So that is the first half done and dusted. It's a 12-point margin. It is not unsalvageable. We can get something out of this. Let's have a look at the box score. And you can see that the Nets are shooting it pretty well. From three, 46%. That's not bad on any day. The problem is this. First and foremost, well, I mean, Lonnie Walker, 13 off the bench again. I mean, like, it's just ridiculous how this guy continues to perform the way he is right now. He's got 5 rebounds. He's on track for a double-double as a guard. And get it off the back of rebounds, which is pretty nuts. But you can see the bench, there is not one player on the bench who has a negative plus-minus. The starters, mate, they are just weighing us down a little bit. Cam Johnson's been pretty efficient in his first game back. He's only taken 4 shots, though. And Mikal has only scored the 9. Dinwiddie scored 11, top high man for the starting 5. But Lonnie has been doing pretty excellent things off the bench. Turnovers pretty good. Kept that number down. I'm liking the minute allocation, apart from the fact, bro, 7 minutes for Trendon Watford. He had 6 points. He had 2 boards. Did a lot right in the first quarter and barely saw action in the second. How him and Lonnie have only got 17 minutes between them is just quite difficult to fathom. If we look at Boston, this is where the problems lie. They're shooting it marginally better than us. They have taken 6 extra shots. They've made 4 more. They've hit 1 more 3. And they've gotten to the free throw line a fair bit. The turnovers, they've kept that number down as well. But those turnovers haven't really happened in the open floor. So we haven't really been able to break out and transition. It's been more on the back of those 3-point misses. In the second half, we're going to have to be much more switched on with those long rebounds because they have been far more reactive to those misses. They've anticipated where the ball's going to land. And that's why players like Peyton Pritchard are leading the way in offensive rebounds, because you don't need to be tall to, anticipate the fall of the ball. And you can just, rack it up with your pace and beat other players to the spot. So the rebound number isn't as bad as I make it out to be. It's only an advantage of 2 for Boston. But in the second half, let's have a look at the team stats. The only way we win this game is if our bench is outplaying Boston's bench. Well, as it currently stands, 9 points to Boston's bench, and for the Nets, we've already gotten 21 from ours. So that'd be yet again another, like, if Lonnie scores 5 more points in this second half, it'll be the 8th, in every game since the, even including the first game of the season, we've had at least 25 bench points in every game, which is a pretty good mark. But, we said this at pregame, we cannot have Finney-Smith and Royce only scoring 6 points between them. That 3-point output needs to be much better than that. And they're rebounding as well. Like, we need those two to be far more physical than what they have been. Because, 2 defensive rebounds between them. When you're giving away 7 offensive rebounds in a half, those two need to be a lot better in that regard. That being said, we've had 2 guards who have combined for 9 rebounds, which is pretty good. Let's go to the team stats. And let's just see how this game has been played. You can see the turnovers. They've scored 9 points off turnovers to our 0. So as I said, we've only created two turnovers, which is a problem in itself. But then the fact that they both have been dead ball turnovers is a bigger issue, because we aren't getting those points off turnovers, but we are still getting the fast break points. We've had 11 in this game. Playing Boston the first time around this season, we got outdone for the first time in the year for fast break points. The opposition outdid us there. So there is a chance here that we can outdo them in that regard. But, it's going to be tough, this performance, or this opposition we're playing today. Like, they're not... we have done not too bad again. The scoreboard continues to tick over. It's just we haven't nearly enough forced the turnovers that we need to supplement a scoring total that would outdo Boston's. They've scored 66 points in a half. It's been really effortless. A lot of the time, they've had 16 assists from 23 made field goals. There's been a lot of isolation 3-pointers. When you go back to the box score, you'll see for the Celtics, they've hit 12 3-pointers, so that in itself is pretty scary, because if they hit 24 in a game, that's a pretty poor defensive performance. That being said, I wouldn't say that many of their threes have been easy, or it hasn't been because of just pure defensive lapses. A lot of the time, it's just been they've tried to take it one-on-one and they've just scored over the outstretched contested arm, or we've committed to a fast break possession when we haven't even gotten the rebound yet. They've gotten the offensive board and we don't have any defense set up. So, probably another reason for the starters being so outdone in the plus minus. You can see with the Celtics, minute distribution. Look at the minutes they're getting. They've only really had 6 players play heavy rotational minutes. For the Nets, it's a little bit different in that regard. Oh my God, that voice crack, mate. That was probably the worst voice crack I've had in a long time. Man. So yeah, 6 rotational players. Yeah, and we've had nearly 3 players play 10 minutes off the bench. So last game, that was the same as well. And that obviously is because of 2 different roster constructions as well. So yeah, if you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe. If you are new, there's also a donation button. So if you want to contribute to the stream in that way, in a way that can help me continue to make these as high quality as possible, then you are free to do so. But we've got a pretty strong, well, yeah, we're going to need a strong second half. We've got a pretty important second half ahead. This is an in-season tournament game, so if you win this, you are in a pretty good position, especially given there's like 4 group games. So if you go 2-0 to start things off, you're in a pretty good position to actually make the knockouts. If we go around the grounds, actually, and by around the grounds, I'm talking about one venue, we're going to see what the Long Island Nets are up to. Dariq Whitehead has had an absolute stinker. He's got 5 points. And he is shooting 0 of 4 from 3, 1 of 8 from the field. Noah Clowney has 4 blocks, 5 points. 4 blocks. He's on 5 personals. He's had a double-double, 12 and 12. He's had 6 offensive rebounds. Jalen Wilson has been the high man. He's got 29. He's got 8 rebounds. He's got 3 offensive. He's hit 3 threes, and he's 7 of 16 total. So those aren't bad performances. Dariq Whitehead has just returned. Noah Clowney's had a bit more basketball under his belt. So that's to be expected. Yeah. But there aren't too many other games happening today, I do believe. But yeah, that's a good sign for Noah Clowney. 6 offensive boards and 4 blocks. And he's pretty lanky, so that's some good shit right there. Around the grounds, the Pistons are beating the Sixers. That is pretty unprecedented. Joel Embiid, of course, has 16 free throws to contribute to his 27 points. Killian Hayes has decided to wake up because he had an awful start to the season, but now he's actually doing something reminiscent of an NBA player. What else is going on? Around the grounds, Washington are beating Charlotte. 16 rebounds for Mark Williams. That is cooked. Brandon Miller's been really inefficient. Kuzma has 13. So they've nearly got 7 players in double figures. 8, nearly. Really weird rotation. Avdia, Kuzma, Gafford, Tyus Jones, and Jordan Poole, and then off the bench, Gallinari, Kispert, DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet, and Koulibaly. So that's going to be the team we come up against in a couple of days' time. We're really short-handed tonight. No more than we were the other night. We're only missing 3 players. So I don't use it as an excuse. Why did I just go off? League pass. Idiot sandwich. So let me just get that back up. What's the date today? Yep, there we go. Get it back up. All right. Second half should be ready to get underway very, very shortly, I would assume. Not as shortly as I thought. And any other games? Utah beating Memphis. Memphis have been god-awful this season. Colin Sexton with 10. Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bane with 10. Gilliard is starting for Memphis. What the hell? This guy's 25. He's 5'8", weighs 160 pounds, and he's starting. And he's averaging 2 points in the regular season, yet he's starting. What's going on here? What are Memphis doing? To be fair, he's got 6 dimes, which is pretty impressive. Man, Memphis just really are that reliant on Ja then. New Orleans have got 16 from Zion, and it's only the second quarter. And for Houston, they've gotten 10 from Jalen Green. So, yeah, that's going to be a good contest, that one. LA and San Antonio, that's another great game. Skyline, welcome to the stream. It's not looking too bad. It could be a lot worse, given the Celtics have already hit 12 threes in the half, or in the first half of this game. And Brown scored 21. Tatum scored like 13. So there's a reason why they're in front, but there is a way to turn things around. And one of those is probably just, due to humanity. You're eventually going to, stop making shots. We've just got to be good enough to capitalize on their misses. It's really that simple. That is the ugliest court I've ever seen for Houston. It's like another red court. We'll get ready for the second half, though. Not only are we shorthanded, but our players are not firing. I'd debate that. I would debate that because Lonnie Walker's playing well. Trenton Watford in limited minutes is playing well. But, Finney Smith and Royce, we're not getting the same contribution from them as we were last game where they hit 8 threes. We don't have Cam Thomas, obviously. We do have Cam Johnson back. But him and Mikal haven't really had much bearing on the result thus far. In terms of, they haven't really contributed to our scoring total as much as I would like. Spencer Dinwiddie's been decent. He scored 11. But outside of that, not too much going on. That being said, we're not shooting the ball awfully from 3. We've had 11 threes made in this game. So that's a pretty good return. A pretty good return for a team that, is as short-handed as they are. I'm not a fan of the Brooks minutes. There were probably other games that Brooks should be getting time. I don't know why he's picked the Celtics game of all games to actually give him run. I feel like against the Wizards, that's probably going to be the time. Where has the volume gone? Don't know where the volume's gone. The volume is just missing. Well, now I'm going to be playing a bit of a guessing game, I think. Yeah, just I cannot hear anything through my headset. That's weird. And the headset is on, so I don't know what's going on here. I'll have to suss it later. We have a foul on Royce, who was picking up Porzingis under the basket. That's weird. The coverage has just lost audio. Can't hear nothing. So I'm just hearing my own voice. Play resumes. Brown. Good defense by Finney Smith. There's an open 3 for White. The 3 is good, and we are underway. And oh, God. When did we hit a 3-pointer? I don't know when we hit a 3-pointer, but we did, and now we've missed the 3-pointer. So it's a 12-point game. White early offense. Bro, what is our defense doing there? We get a rebound. Johnson nearly got pickpocketed by Derek White. The Nets will get into offense here. Bridges. I will realign the clock in just a second. Dinwiddie nearly walked. Johnson pulls up and misses the 2, and a rebound for Tatum. We're really going to have to knuckle down on defense. That's a good roll by Porzingis. It provides a wide open shot for Brown, and he somehow misses the most open shot he's had all game. Johnson, Bridges, drive, back out of Johnson's. The step back 3, that's off. That was a bit of an uncalled for, irrational kind of shot selection. And, bro, come on, Royce. I mean, that is just inexcusable. You can't just let players blow by like that. Dinwiddie to Doe in the corner. That should be regulation. It is. And it's a 3-pointer for Dorian Finney-Smith. So, good start to the second half on offense. We've already hit 2 3-pointers, but defense, no resistance. And Porzingis misses the 3, so we get let off there. Royce, gonna take it past half court. Can I stop voice cracking, please? Dinwiddie. 1-on-1. He's gonna take Porzingis off the dribble, and he scores for 2. And it's somehow an offensive foul. How many times has he done that in an NBA game? That is rubbish. Okay, never mind. That could be... Yeah, that is a foul. Let's have a look. Yeah, but how many times have I seen that by other NBA players? That is a load of shit. Consistency is something that you always seek, but are never going to actually get. Tatum misses the mid-range on the baseline. Mikal is going to pass to Dinwiddie. He's got Tatum on him on the wing. The screen arrives. Dinwiddie fakes the handoff, takes it downhill, and is fouled. And it was a late whistle, but it will be 2 shots, and I can now finally realign the clock. Can we please get a look at Giles just to see what he can do? I mean, I don't think it's... Like, I don't think it would hurt to try, but at the same time... Oh, that's a Dinwiddie miss. You knew it as soon as he shot it. What was I going to say? I don't think it's games like this where you should experiment. That being said, history would prove that, you know, some of the best wins have come when you've got a really on-the-fly rotation being made. That's a... Oh, nah. How have you called that a foul? Finney Smith will pick it up on... I don't know how many fouls that is for him, but it'll be due to a push. Bit of an arm extension. Brown gets it from the inbounds. Bridges picking him up, and that is going to be a travel. So well done by Mikal. He also could have drawn the offensive foul because there was a little bit of a high elbow there by Jaylen. So a turnover, and the Nets, as they started the second, are doing pretty well here on defense. But it's going to be all in the offense, man. We need offense. Johnson. Now Finney Smith back to CJ. Dinwiddie on the wing. Back to Johnson. Had a bit of space. Didn't shoot it. Now he's going to take it down the middle. Flip it up. Doesn't get the whistle or the shot to go down. And now Holiday in transition. We'll get it to White. It was a 5-on-4 momentarily. And Johnson was trailing his assignment. So could have been a single-digit deficit. Instead, it is the complete other way. Dinwiddie into the paint. He's going to have to roll it back out because he's got Porzingis on him. Don't know what really he's got planned here. He's got 7 to shoot. And Holiday is there for help. Good kick out by Spence. They got to shoot it. Mikal. Shoot it. No. Shot clock violation. And that's well defended by Boston. But Spence is holding the ball for way too long. Just doing a bunch of dribbling and doing not much else with it. So it needs to be a little bit more assertive there. We've got to get into a set, you know, much, much quicker than what we did on that occasion. So Tatum in a switch. Royce O'Neal picks him up. Porzingis, the defense collapses, and he is fouled by Johnson. Bro, some of these whistles, man, I mean, I get why they're calling the foul, but half the time, you just have to stand there. You can not do anything. Like, if Boston do that, I don't reckon we get the whistle. I really don't. Really don't. I'm also still heavily confused as to where the volume is gone. I may just have to refresh the page. Porzingis is good on the first. Nets lose tonight. Well, it could go one of two ways. It could go one of two ways. You know, There's a long way to go in this game. And as we say on many occasions, you can go on an 11-0 run, like score 3 buckets in quick succession, and all of a sudden the lead is cut down. Bridges had to have been fouled there. Thank you very much. That couldn't be any more blatant. And it's going to be Nets on the side. With 7:43 to play, Watford is back in. But why have you benched Finney Smith? What do you like about Royce? How many times, dude? This guy can't even... Like, he trips over his own feet. Dinwiddie for 3. Oh, my God. What are we doing? Seriously? Somehow we get the offensive rebound. Watford's just bounced it off. Well, I thought his foot, but then it went off Holiday. So it looks like no kickball violation involved in there. And instead it's going to be Nets ball with 5 to shoot. Watford inbounds to Royce. Why would you give it to Royce? Why would you give it to Royce? You have Mikal on the floor. You have Dinwiddie and Johnson on the floor. You give it to Royce from an inbound. And Derek White gets the scoop. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Like, surely you had something drawn up. Dinwiddie, extra pass was nearly wayward, but it fortuitously ended up with Bridges. The fadeaway 2's off. Johnson nearly got the putback, but it's going to be a Boston rebound. So they, like, Tatum for 3. This is going to be in. Nope. Good rebound, Nets. Royce gets it ahead. I don't know how Watford got that far ahead of the Boston defense, but I think that's going to be, well, the key for the Nets. We've just got to score a bit more like that. Breakout and transition, I really think. Because, like, in the half court, like, the amount of shots that we're putting up that are absolute rubbish is pretty staggering to me. So that is the situation. Where has the audio gone? I cannot hear a thing from the broadcast. May have to try another way I can do this. I'm going to have to run with the ESPN broadcast, I think. Or it could be my headphones. My headphones are not providing audio. Hang on. I just heard myself speak. So where's that coming from? Okay, hang on. I can hear something, but I don't know what that is. Never mind, I think I recovered it. I think I turned the headphone audio down. Yeah, I think that was it. Just everything's going wrong. Lol. Alright, so if you are enjoying, make sure to show your support and also subscribe if you are new. The stream is now fine. I just had the... for some reason, I turned the headset audio off. I have no idea why I did that. But yeah, the situation is this. I mean, why did I not check the box score? Everything's just in disarray at the moment. I'm even, producing a bit of a shambles. This is what we're dealing with at the moment. It's a bit of a eyesore. Finney Smith has actually hit a couple threes, but Boston just keep finding ways to keep the scoreboard ticking, and we're just not keeping up, really. Yeah. It's not great. But we're only being outscored by 2 in this quarter, so it feels like this has been our worst quarter of the game, and we're only getting outscored by 2. As opposed to last quarter where Boston just went on a scoring spree in 3 minutes, and got the lead out of proportion, and made the second quarter domination look very deceiving. You know, like that second quarter performance, I don't think we deserve to be outscored by 7. So, Trendon Watford has been a really good player today. I think he's just about been one of our best. So, Lonnie's in, DSJ is in, Mikal to the bench, Cam Johnson remains in. Mid-range by Holiday is good. So, 16-point game. We've got a lot of ground to make up. Watford going to put the ball on the floor, get swatted, and Porzingis just too good. I mean, he's slower, but he's got longer strides, so he can make that ground up. Porzingis out to Holiday. The drive, cutter is Hauser. The kick out to Brown. That 3 was never going down. Look at this fucking tosser, Royce O'Neal, mate. Like, seriously, box out, bro. You just let the guards run right by you. Very lucky that Derek White's foot was on the line in trying to secure that offensive rebound, because we were mudded otherwise. Watford out to Lonnie Walker. The cross. He's going to get into the paint. He's going to try create some separation, but Porzingis is just a man mounted in the paint. Good backdoor cut by Holiday, blocked by DSJ. But they recover again, and you already know this is setting up a three-pointer. Nope. Watford gets the rebound. So Watford is going to drive on Brown. Porzingis is on the perimeter, and Watford misses badly. Oh my god. Oh, Lottie! What a block! Huge! Johnson down the middle just lost the ball. Fucking hell. End-to-end play by both sides here. Brown going to back down Smith. Good defense, but man, look at the separation created by Jaylen Brown. We have a timeout. Seriously, just need... I mean, Cam Johnson hasn't really been it today. Some good defensive stops here, but... 18-point deficit. Now, I just want to send you back to the Heat game. Now, I know the Celtics are no Miami Heat, or the Heat are no Boston Celtics, but we were down by a very similar margin against Miami and got the dub on the back of some really good rotational minutes by a certain starting or a certain group of 5. We're going to need to see the same right now. Because, man, I don't really know what we're going to draw upon here, because right now the game's looking fairly lost. Turnovers have been piling up in this third quarter as well. So, Nets just rush too much. It almost is like we go too fast for our own liking. Like, some of these players don't have as good of a handle as the play would suggest. This is where you need a Ben Simmons to really, like, facilitate, survey the floor, you know, find the shooters in their spots so they don't need to take dribbles. Like, Cam Johnson should not be bringing the ball up and, like, dictating the pace of a possession. It should be Ben Simmons. And if Cam Johnson is open in the corner, you know, that's what a play, you know, in transition should look like. That's what losing Ben Simmons does to you. You need a new microphone. Well, that is what I'm saving up for with the donation money. So, unfortunately, quality microphones aren't cheap. I don't know why it took so long for me to think of that word. I know I'm going to sound crazy, but I've never been sold on Cam Johnson. I mean, he's been out for 8 games, so I don't really expect a seamless return. You know, it's not going to be that easy transitioning back in, but you know, it's not like, yeah, it hasn't been a really convincing performance. I actually would have played him off the bench. Lonnie Walker deserves the time. Lonnie's only playing 22 and a half minutes a game and is scoring 16 a game. He definitely is probably one of the front runners, if not the front runner, for sixth man of the year. With that scoring production, you know, quality minutes. Here he is now right on cue. Mikal is back in. Can he just send Royce to the bench, bro? I can't stand this. DSJ into the paint. He scores off the window. I don't know what's going on there, but there's a technical foul in there. That is the softest technical I've ever seen. A lot of the shit they call technicals for these days do not affect anyone. It's like the equivalent of that Simpsons meme where the old man yells at Cloud. You know, it's like that. That's what the referee mindset really looks like. Like that Giannis technical the other day. That wasn't hurting anybody. That was just passion right there. Oh, that is saucy. What a find to Cornet for the alley-oop dunk. I mean, you're passing to someone who's 7'1", so if the pass is right, you're never actually gonna... Well, you're never gonna reach it. Walker, good maneuver into the paint, and gets the foul +1. Bro, Lonnie Walker, what the hell is this guy on? If we somehow master, like, if we pull off an upset here and come back and somehow win this game, we have Lonnie Walker to thank. This guy's unbelievably good. 15 points and make that 16, so he hits his season average, and we still have 16 minutes of play left in this game. Lonnie, good blitz. Nearly forced the turnover. Oh, that's a great hook pass by Holiday and got Jaylen Brown open. I mean, we defended that pretty well. They nearly turned it over right at the half-court line, but found a way. DSJ for 2 off the window. Attacks Cornet and braces for the contact. Brown, the response again. That's short. And the rebound by Lonnie. So 3:27 to play. Watford had a bit of space to shoot the 3, but handed it off to Bridges. Royce, Watford, going to take it into the paint and shoot the push shot. And he gets it to go. So he gets into an area which he knows he's more capable of scoring from, rather than testing the three-pointer, which is probably lower percentage by his standards. Holiday in a switch. Hauser, 3 over Royce, and that is badly off. So a rebound, Mikal, and if we can score a basket here, we actually will, at this stage, be outscoring them in this quarter. Lonnie is blitzed. It goes out of play. It is Nets ball. So, once again, we're hanging around. I'm not saying we're out of this game, because we're not. This team has proven time and time again. There's a timeout. This team has proven time and time again that no lead is safe with this group. Like, we find ways. We find ways. Stop dreaming. I'm gonna dream. Yes, I'm actually incredibly pessimistic usually, but I have optimism because this team has been, well, we're 4-4 with a team that has missed 3 starters for quite a bit of the season. So You can't be that poor, are you? How much is a microphone? The one that I want is about $400, which I'm not really willing to spend just out of my own pocket. If that makes sense. I'd rather earn something and then put back in. You know. So it's all like a revolving circle. You know what I mean? We should have just started Lonnie over Dinwiddie. Bro, we should have just started anyone over Royce. Dinwiddie hasn't even been that shit. He's been not great, but... Oh, come on. They challenged that. So they've lost the challenge and a timeout. So we're fine. Yeah. Oh, that... Yeah, I can see why that got reviewed. But yeah, like... $400. I'm not really willing to spend that just out of nowhere. So... This will suffice for now. You know, you can hear me. Your eardrums may be absolutely destroyed at a certain stage if we somehow pull off an upset here. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now we're down 13 with about 2.5 to play. Can we inbound the ball? Thank you. We get it to Watford. Hand off to Bridges and a switch. He's got Hauser on him. He gets by and the layup is good. So I like that matchup. It's down to 11. A 12-5 run in the last 2 minutes has seen this lead slowly dwindle, and we are within reach. Pritchard. Brown. High screen and switch. DSJ. Good defense! Come on! Let's go. DSJ knocks it off Brown's leg. It is Nets ball. And every time we've gotten to this position, we always do something stupid. Walker on the wing. High screen, Watford. Walker creates the space over Pritchard. He got it to go. Oh, Lonnie, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be stupid. Derek White, the drive, the scoop. Didn't get the angle. Cornet, the offensive board. Why would you foul? This is what I'd be saying every time we get it to this margin. Something stupid happens. We force the miss. And then we just don't have the size underneath. This is where a Dayron comes in. Why do you have Royce in the game still? Get him off. I'd rather have Watford guarding the wing where Royce is and just sit Dayron under the basket with Cornet, man. I don't understand this. He loves Royce so much. It's staggering. Watford, oh, great feed. Bullet feed to CJ for 3. Watford really pushing the pace there. And that was an absolute laser to the corner. So, Derek White now. Brown, picked up by DSJ, top of the key. 7 to shoot. Travel. DSJ has injected a bit of life into this Nets team. This whole group has. We said this at the last time out. We need a group of 5, like the Miami game, to contribute to a run, which we can then use as momentum going into the final quarter. DSJ is going to drive on Cornet. Do not shoot it. He kicks it out. Bridges. It rims out. Johnson. How did he get that up? And no whistle. And then we have a take foul. Why would you foul him, DSJ? Why? That was an incredible rebound by CJ. I don't know how he's raked that in. JV wants the foul call. Let's just have a look on the replay. So the Bridges 3 rims out. CJ got the rebound. I don't think there was a foul in there. I don't think there was. JV still in conversation. Pritchard at the line makes the first. This has been a much better quarter, though. Much better quarter. I want to go into the final quarter with the lead at single digits. Cornet to the bench. Brissett back in. And that's... Oh, my fucking God, man. Pritchard with another offensive rebound. That is... Bro, I cannot believe you can't even box out the free throw shooter, dude. DSJ misses the layup and he's fouled. A block on Brissett. But, mate, what the fuck was that? What are you doing? CJ. That's on CJ. Or even DSJ, for that matter. The free throw is good by Dennis. That's his third offensive board in the game. They could be in a pretty odd spot if Pritchard hadn't made all those second chance points or contributed to those second chance points. And that's really avoidable as well. DSJ is picked up with another foul early on the clock. And I like the intensity, but you're committing fouls that looks a hell of a lot worse. And it's going to be 2 shots for Derek White. Oh, mate. So free throws now for Derek White. The first is good. It's just so avoidable. So avoidable. You can box out Pritchard. Like, I swear to God, any other franchise is not inept at doing that. Okay, so that one's off. So, Nets, will they push the pace for a 2-for-1? DSJ is going to drive on Hauser. And he did not get the angle. Why would you shoot that? Well done, Trendon. He stood on the sideline. No, he's been fouled. Well done by Trendon Watford. Awkward angle. He was trapped under the basket. Sort of nudged under it. And somehow was able to rake it in with one hand. And then as he was falling out of play, it was fouled. So free throws for Trendon Watford to cut it down to a single-digit deficit. The first is good. So Doe's going to check back in. Walker will head to the bench. And it looks like that'll do it for subs down the stretch. Watford with 11 and 5 boards. He's been a very big net positive in this game. Watford's second is good. And it's a 9-point game. So let's just defend this, please. And don't give away an offensive rebound, I beg. Derek White is going to slow the tempo down. DSJ got to stay committed. They're going to give it to Brown. Now, DSJ picks him up after the switch. Brown. Turnover. No. Blocked by Watford. Get that shit out of here. Johnson. Oh. That's 3/4 time. It's a 9-point game. And I tell you what, if you're Boston, you would be comfortable, but there's probably a little bit of uncertainty there. $400, yep. What do you think about moving Claxton, Dinwiddie, and Royce for Cat? I don't rate Cat one bit. I don't think he's worth... Like, because it depends who you think is better long term. I don't see why people want to get rid of Clax. And as I said, when we had this discussion earlier in the year, I don't... Like, Clax is still, like, 24. He's got so much time to grow. Ben Simmons is a very uncertain player. He can get back to his best, and he will be good if he gets back to his best. But these are all hypotheticals. You know? Clax, until that ankle sprain where he turned it I think, on an opponent. You know, he was, bro. He's very durable. Markkanen, I'm for, but Danny Ainge would fleece us. Thanks for the donation, Toka Tom. $5. Loving the support from you. I feel like you've donated quite a bit this year, so you didn't have to, but thank you very much for that. And I appreciate the support. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you're new, we'll be back in a couple of days for Nets Wizards. This is the box score outlook as it currently stands. You can see that Jaylen Brown is leading the way with 28. Tatum did not score in that quarter. The rebounding. They are only out-rebounding us by 1, but they've had 10 offensive rebounds. The turnovers lifted for Boston in that quarter. They only hit 2 threes in that quarter as well, going 2 of 10. And the Nets, well, we've evened things up slowly. Lonnie Walker's been awesome. He has got 18 points in this contest. He has got 6 boards. Hold on. 1 block, 6 boards, 3 assists. And you can see, well, he's the high man. Doe had a pretty good quarter. He hit a couple threes as well. Mikal needs to probably lift in output. CJ's been great from the 3-point line, but outside of that, not great. And DSJ's been pretty good defensively. A part of that group that has gotten us in a decent position to steal this one. We've cut the deficit in half. The Celtics and the Nets are very similar in terms of points in the fourth quarter. 30.5 for Boston, 30 on the dot for the Nets. So this game could go either way. Either way. You from Australia? I am. Yep. I figure you would know by now. Is that I feel like some people get Australian and British mixed up. I don't really know how that happens. Those accents, because they are vastly different. So the Celtics will inbound, and it is inbounded. Holiday, Pritchard, Hauser, who else? Tatum and Cornet on the floor. Good defense by DSJ. Holiday fumbled the dribble initially, but got it over the half-court line. They're only now getting into a set. Holiday, that is a tough shot. He airballs it. Bro, you can't be serious. How is that a foul? He's got his back turned. That is an absolute joke of a foul, because Cornet has gone over the top of Cam Johnson. I have absolutely zero clue what CJ is supposed to do there. He's not even looking at Cornet on the box out. You've just rewarded someone for having shit positioning. So Tatum's going to drive and kick to Hauser. Extra feed for Holiday. Ball fake. 1 more for Tatum. Top of the key. That is regulation 3. Regulation 3-point shooting for Tatum. Watford. Bridges. That's well worked by Boston, though. I mean, we had to collapse the defense. They find the open man. Just the right amount of passes. Johnson, the turnaround 2. That's off. Watford batted it back. He probably should have taken it in one motion. Johnson is hit with another foul, going for the reach. So, never mind. It's Finney-Smith, apparently. But these fouls, man, I mean, I'm not saying this is entirely responsible for the position we're currently in, because we've conceded 96 points. And they've hit a lot of their shots. But a lot of these fouls are just rubbish. Like, you're punishing us for playing defense. Tatum, the turnaround 2, and over the much smaller Dennis Smith Jr. goes down. So Tatum back in. He scored the first 5 of the last quarter, and it is a 14-point deficit for the Nets to make up. Watford picks up his dribble, bridges the cut. He's got Holiday on him. Feel like he's going to turn around. Nope. DSJ, you got 4 to shoot, and we're going to have to live with a step back deep 2. How has he hit that? DSJ is not a mid-range shooter by any standard, and he's knocked down 2 big contested mid-ranges in this game. So Tatum picked up by Watford. Good defense. Tatum, though, 3 is off. I cannot be asked. Another Pritchard rebound. Well trapped, but he gets it out to Hauser, and that's in. I mean, you cannot make this shit up. How many rebounds are the Celtics going to get? 23 second chance points to 3. Johnson in response is off. The rebound by Boston. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. Another fucking foul. Here come the insult. Oh, not the insults, the cuss words. Because, mate... Pritchard. We have given away the most offensive rebounds to an individual on Boston to Pritchard. The guy is 6'1". Mikal to the bench for Lonnie. And he can't be on the bench for no more than 2.5 minutes, I would say. So Holiday, picked up by Doe. The switch has Tatum now picked up by Walker, and he's just lost it out of bounds. That is Nets ball. Good defense. Good double by Doe. And so the Nets are going to have to really dig deep to get the job done here. Watford. Armani Brooks is in. We're getting final quarter Armani minutes. Watford for 3. That's off. Rebound Holiday. Pritchard is picked up by CJ. He's going to go baseline. He's going to roll it back out. Hauser on the catch. This guy's ridiculous. But it feels like these players decide to shoot well against us. Granted, Boston are averaging 120 points this season, so they've always got contributors on the bench in the starting lineup. Johnson at the elbow, the 2 is good. It's very simple. We aren't going to get back into this game if we don't... What are we doing? What the hell was the point of that foul? JV wanted Finney-Smith on the bench. Dayron's into the game, so... This should have happened long ago, I feel. We should have really run Dayron with the bench. So, we're going with the bench lineup to see if we can get back into the game. That's... Oh my goodness, how has that happened? A couple times the Celtics got possession, a couple times we knocked it out of their hands, but still, we fall short, and it will be Celtics ball on the baseline because it went out of us. Ball inbounded. Tatum on the baseline. He's got DSJ on him. Gonna need a bit of help there. And that is off. But a foul on Dennis. We were so strong on the offensive rebounds against the Clippers. Well, Dayron was in the game. Dayron's barely played in this one. We need a big center who can rebound, defend, and shoot threes. Those what was I gonna say? Those centers are pretty hard to come by. You know, that's not... To wish for a center that can do all 3 of those things consistently is... I mean, you're asking for a center that's probably top 5 in the league, you know? Like, name one center who can do all 3 of those things. DSJ misses, got his own miss, and missed the putback. So, you're seeing the difference. Oh, Tatum. Missed the scoop, rebound Nets. Come on. Oh, that's an absolute defensive lapse by Sam Hauser. He was looking one way, but the problem is there was a bit of an overload, and the Nets utilized the extra number. So, this could go one of 2 ways. We could get absolutely demolished, or we could legitimately get back in the game because of the bench. Oh, come on. Another offensive rebound. It's because their misses are so bad that they're getting these long rebounds at the 3-point line. Tatum, good defense. Watford. That's incredibly good defense by Watford. Probably at the last second, he's let himself down by being a little bit too... Like, he smothered him too much. Where was the foul there? I'm actually not really sure what the foul was for there. We're also without a leading scorer and without a best perimeter defender. Well, I mean, yeah, like, the Boston Celtics, like, the fact that we're asking our bench to compete with the Celtics starters is, like, we're asking a lot. Watford, good defense, good rotation. Very responsive there. Oh, my. Bro, another foul. Like, this is ridiculous. And it's an offensive foul. I honestly couldn't tell you what an offensive foul is these days. Let's have a look. I mean, what is that for? He just ran into him and got bulldozed. How's a good ball fake? It's a wide open three. It's another three-pointer. This guy in the last quarter has hit about 4 three-pointers, I think. So it's a 21-point lead. I think this one's done and dusted, ladies and gents. For the first time this year, I can say that. DSJ just lost the ball, got it back. Watford, Dayron body bump, and got blocked by Cornet. So, Celtics the other way. Pritchard is open, that's in. No, it's not. At this point, I'm just anticipating every three-pointer to go in, because that's what it's felt like in the second half. Lonnie, oh my god, what a handle! How has he scored that? That is fucked. Bro, with severe defensive pressure, he somehow got that to go. Bro, that is the second possession in a row Tatum's gotten a foul from a kick out. Honestly, I would just challenge that. Seriously, that is fucking bullshit. Bro, like, Lonnie, what the hell? Going deep into his bag for that too. Fucking hell. I'm afraid Mikal is not the player we all think he is. Well, it depends what you think of Mikal. Because some people think of him as a number one option, in which case they would probably be wrong. Some people just think he's a role player, in which, for a performance like this, you're right. So, Watford and Lonnie are just Mark's masterpieces, nothing to say. Mikal is still a good player, but JV is not running the right plays for him to succeed. I agree with both of those statements. I did see on Twitter some people saying, in the off-season, you need to pay Watford and Walker the money they deserve and offload Dinwiddie and Royce in the middle portion of the season before the trade deadline, because those two are going to be demanding money. And I feel like Lonnie Walker, bro, this guy is just about our second best scorer on the team. Is that stupid to say? Still say Mikal's been better, but Lonnie, like, I actually have felt more comfy with Lonnie taking the shots than Mikal. And you know Lonnie's a good player when he's actually overcoming the curse of the player spotlight that I put here. I actually put his name in here, and usually when I put players in the player spotlight, they absolutely shit themselves and don't play very well. But in this game, Lonnie is top scoring. We need to go for a big this trade deadline. That's always been an issue. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to see what the box score is saying. Cam Johnson, 3 threes made. It's not awful. He's been pretty poor on the interior. Mikal's done like nothing. Spencer has barely played. He's played 20 minutes. And he was pretty decent in the first half as well, which a little bit of a surprise that he didn't play. Excuse me. Yeah. Lonnie's been so efficient as well. Voice crack. Bro, fuck off. Voice cracks. Everything's going wrong today. Fucking hell. Can't even speak. Mate. Can't even speak without being embarrassed. Oh. Spencer is going to want his money in crypto. It's a good point. It's a good point. Alright, so I don't know what our bench is going to look like here, because Lonnie is now on the bench. 6 minutes to play. And it's free throws here. Harry Giles, if you wanted him to play, he's playing now. We don't have Jalen Wilson to come in for those minutes. This is a bit cringe that they are still playing Jayson Tatum, Jrue Holiday. Granted, they couldn't really take Tatum off because he was taking the free throws, but bit cringe, not gonna lie. Here's Armani Brooks, bounce pass to Dennis, out to Dayron, who shoots a three. Air ball. Oh, God. This is when you well and truly know that we've thrown in the towel. Pritchard for three. That's off. And Cornet with the offensive board. So even with two centers on the floor, we can't even get the rebounds. And Pritchard gets right by DSJ for the two. So Pritchard has been quality off the bench for Boston today. I can't even discredit his performance. He's been a bit of a little shit. And that's what's made him so good for Boston. He's been playing his role. Where the fuck is Harry Giles sending that? Armani Brooks relocated to the corner. And Giles was anticipating for Armani to remain on the wing. So 5 minutes to play. And Harry Giles hasn't been exactly great. Oh, God. What is that defense, man? Open threes off. And it is a rebound for the Nets. So this one's going to wind down just a little bit. 22-point margin. And another turnover for the Nets. So here we go. They're just piling up quite a bit. This is the first time that I can safely say we've been smoked. And it's not against an opposition that, well, is shit. So it hasn't been a diabolical performance, but oh my God. 2 centers and we're giving up offensive rebounds. And another offensive rebound. Here we go. Holiday. Whip past a Cornet in the post. Oh my God. Pritchard again. What are they... Mate, even for bench standards, this is poor. Like, come on. Dayron extra feed. He just passed up an open layup and Giles off the window. So, what is this spacing? First and foremost. We've got Dayron Sharp guarding Tatum. And ironically, he's actually playing somewhat better defense. DSJ, gonna drive on Pritchard. Body bump, foul, and it'll be shots. Another $5, mate. Thank you. I guess it is a bit of a small consolation for the pain. See ya, Ivan. It's definitely probably about time you head off, because like it's not exactly worth hanging around for. I don't rate DSJ much. He hasn't been their worst performer tonight. You know, like, there haven't been many great performers tonight. The bar's set pretty low, but I wouldn't say DSJ's been that bad. So he makes those 2 free throws at the line. It's just we've had no answer, really. The rebounds, I hate our team, bro. It's really a love-hate relationship. Mikal is well short on the three. It's a love-hate relationship with this team. Because, that's a Giles 3. And it's good. Maybe he needs minutes. Maybe we should be running this Dayron Giles lineup a little bit more. We definitely miss Cam and Ben tonight. 100% we missed Ben. And we also definitely 100% missed Cam. We didn't have the scoring to keep up with the Celtics. And we also didn't have that defensive kind of player that we could rely upon. Hold on. Well done by Harry Giles. Rim running. It's down to 15. We're back in the game. No, I'm just kidding. So, what was I saying? I just completely forgot what I was saying. Yeah, we need like that defensive player we could send to their most gifted offensive scorer today and shut things down, like Jaylen Brown in the first quarter or Tatum when he went on that tear in the second quarter. And with 2 minutes left, it was 21. It is now down to 15. So 6 quick points by the Nets. Let's go to the box score and just see what the empty bench is doing. That's not our bench. Why does JV play Royce and DSJ for all those minutes? Fucked if I know. I mean, okay, first and foremost, let's just have a quick discussion about how the fuck Peyton Pritchard has 4 offensive rebounds. How tall is this guy? Let's just go see his height. Is it gonna show me? No, it's not gonna let me. But I'll have you take my word for it. He is 6'1". 6'1", and he's got 4 offensive rebounds, dude. Lonnie's been really good, just about our best today. DSJ's got 14, Watford's got 12. So all these guys off the bench are playing better than our starters. We've ended up getting over 50 bench points. Harry Giles in 3 minutes has scored 7. And nearly scored, well, he scored more than Royce already in 27 minutes. So, Royce, just piss off. Rebounds, we're amazingly only getting out rebounded by 6, 51-45, but they've had 17 offensive rebounds to 8, and you will see in the postgame the amount of second chance points they got. Staggering number. The turnovers, the turnovers aren't really that crazy. They've only hit 3 more threes. They've taken 15 more. They've had 8 more free throws, had 12 more shots. There's a lot of reasons why we've lost today. Part of it is due to the starting lineup just stinking up the gaff again. And the bench having to pull the weight. Their 3-point shooting's been good, Boston. They've taken 51 threes, which has allowed them to get to that good 18-point total, a pretty healthy 3-point amount. It's the offensive rebounds. Giving up 10 offensive rebounds to 2 of their bench players is staggering. Pritchard just lucky to be standing in the right place at the right time. Do feel like that's sort of part of it. 17 offensive rebounds is very bad. It looks somewhat more decent if you take 5 off that total and say, well, those 5 were from long rebounds that they got because their miss was so bad that it rebounded back to the 3-point line where they were standing. Obviously, when you're boxing out in that 10-foot region. You're not boxing shooters out at the 3-point line, So, yeah. We literally have no actually good center besides Clax. And that's why you absolutely can't trade the guy, because getting Cat, let's say we got Cat, there'd be certain matchups that Cat would get absolutely cooked, and we'd have no alternative. Watford is going to back down Mikal. After we return, he misses. The rebound by Banton, who's into the game for the first time tonight. Or he did play like a minute or two before the timeout. This one's just going to wind down. Both teams have emptied their bench. Hauser for another three. That's good. This guy is cracked from the outside, and he did nothing in the first half. The guy was missing so many threes in the first half, and now he's just like, he's a flamethrower. Good cut by Watford. He scores off the window. And a good feed by DSJ, who he hasn't been too bad either. He hasn't been too bad either. Pritchard gets by DSJ again. Oh my god. Reset trying to put Giles on a poster. And it's going to be 2 free throws. What about Lowry? I just don't want to trade Clax under any scenario because of the center rotation. Like, if we got Markkanen, he's better operated as a 4. And then who would you play as your 5? Like, your center rotation would look even more dire than what it was to start with. And at that point, it doesn't even make sense to trade Lowry. Like, trade for Lowry. You're just giving up assets for a player who would, like, you're not filling a need by getting Markkanen. Dayron scores off the window for 2. Really feel like we should have given Dayron more run today. Like, he had 11 and 10. Last game. Good defensive activity. That's an easy roll. Reset is fouled again by Dennis, and that could have been nasty. Could have resulted in a nasty fall. It's going to be 2 shots for Boston. Toka Tom, thanks again for $2. The dono. Didn't have to, but thank you. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. We'll be back in a couple of days' time. Hopefully there's a much better result in store. We'll drop to 4 and 5. That's another missed free throw by Reset. This one is really just dragging on at this point. We will keep things short and sweet in the post game. I don't want to keep you around for too long because there's not really too much to extract from this one. Dennis to Brooks. That's a bad miss, but Watford chases up the rebound. And Dennis back to Sharp down low. Gets the shot up. He is fouled. Didn't get the angle. So free throws just all over the joint. Happening with regularity in this final 5 minutes or so since the bench has come in. The more games we get out of the way against Boston, the better, because I think this is just about one of the worst possible matchups we could come up against. And it's not just because they're good, it's because they are like matchup wise, like their height is so difficult to contend with. Boston are going to let this one wind down, so the game should be done and dusted. 121-107. And fair play to Boston, they've done it again. We will just do a quick post game, and we'll just quickly suss it. Excuse me. In the last quarter, I mean, Watford had a pretty good game, 14 and 7. Dennis Smith with 14, and that was probably one of his better games in a Nets uniform. 14 and 7 dimes in 26 minutes. It's not too bad of a performance. Only a -1 in the plus minus, so he wasn't a part of it, a lineup that was really performing that badly. Lonnie was by far our number 1. Overall, shooting the ball not bad from 3. The rebounding wasn't awful either. The turnovers were all right. We sort of kept that at bay, but for Boston, I mean, you see the amount of offensive rebounds they had. That was a problem. The free throw number, they had way more. They hit more threes, albeit at a lower efficiency. And I mean, Tatum didn't have a great game. He never really got going, but they had plenty of supporting players to get the job done. Sam Hauser in the second half. Pritchard was excellent with his activity defensively. He was an absolute prick to deal with. And as I said, that was him doing his job. He had 4 offensive rebounds purely because he was reactive to misses a hell of a lot more than we were. So yeah. And that's probably going to wrap it up from me. I do want to see the team stats though, because this would potentially indicate, like, here we go, the second half. Fast break points. At halftime, we had 11. In the second half, we had 1. I don't even know how that's possible. From a free throw. Points in the paint, pretty even, which is quite surprising. Probably they got a lot of their points from the 3-point line, so that's where that would come from. We played Boston twice in February. Okay, so we won't have to worry about them for quite some time now. But overall, like, we shot the ball better from the field in 3. They just had more in total. Hit more threes because of that, and got to the free throw line as well. So, yeah, I don't think it was the worst performance in the world. The scoreboard will indicate otherwise, but overall, I mean, we hung around for the majority of the game, but when you're missing your best scorer, when you're missing your, well, center that is so integral to your defensive mechanisms, and then when you're missing Ben Simmons, who basically is your offense in terms of, he's the anchor, he starts things, he dictates the pace, he's able to draw defenders, make passes others won't, and he's pretty secure with the ball. So, you know, when do we play next and who? You can see it in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Nets Wizards is in 2 days' time. We do have a video coming out tomorrow, which will be talking about the bench and why that is, or how that has contributed to our success as a team this season thus far. I wouldn't say 4-5 is a successful start per se, but given the injuries we've had, to stay afloat, that's been incredibly important. And the bench has been a huge part of that. As we saw today, another 50 bench points from them. So, yeah. That's probably going to do it from me. I hope you enjoyed this one. We will see you back here for another stream in a couple of days' time. Hopefully it's a bit of a better result. But yeah, that's going to do it. So thank you for the donations, for the chat messages, all of the above. Yeah, we'll see you in a couple of days' time. So stay safe, have a good one, and bye for now.